ICQ Podcast episode 339, Tiny Spectrum Analyzer. Any good? Well, hello friends of amateur radio. Welcome to this, our 339th episode of the ICQ Amateur Radio Podcast. Right, now we're going to head over to join Martin, Leslie, Dan and Edmund as they discuss and generate thoughts about the latest amateur radio news, including APRS balloon spans the world and a good sunspot news for HF.
The Pella Amateur Radio Club APRS balloon has just spanned the globe. Now, I think this is a nice story. If you release a balloon and it goes all around the world and you can track it, what a bit of fun. I'd love to be involved with one of these. And Leslie, it wasn't a plastic bag like you suggested. Over to you.
I was just looking at the picture on the website. You've got all these youngsters watching this thing go up in the air, and it does look like a plastic bag to me. But yeah, I'm looking at the country that it's gone through. Well, it's Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. I'm not going to go through all of them. Israel, Syria, Afghanistan, India, China, Yellow Sea, South Korea, Japan. Like I said, there's some of those I've just missed off the list, but wow, as an experiment, it's great.
Yeah, sounds like the sort of thing that maybe a few more of us should have a go at. But I know there's a lot of balloons, but we must be getting a lot of information back scientifically from these, so that's good news. Dan, what's your thoughts?
Well, what I like about this is something that I always talk about when I talk about ham radio, is it's more than just about electronics and radio. It's about geography in the world. And I would imagine, anyway, that these kids have learned an awful lot about all these different countries as a result of this balloon flight.
I would agree with you totally. Our hobby, as I say, is massive and spin-offs into all sorts of areas. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't that interested in geography when I was at school, but I've learned quite a bit about geography in other parts of the world just purely being in this hobby. So, yeah, I agree with you, Dan. Edmund, what's your thoughts on the old balloon going around the world?
It's certainly a good way to interest youngsters in geography. When I reached year 9 at school, I had a straight choice between studying history or geography. I couldn't do both, even if I'd wanted to, so I ended up choosing history. Had I known at the time that I was going to turn into a radio amateur some years later, I would have chosen the geography route. And if I'd actually been an amateur radio person at the time, I would have chosen geography as well. So this is a really fantastic achievement, and there is a video on the school's website that's well worth a watch. It's only about 10 minutes long, and Leslie is absolutely spot on. The balloon does indeed look like one of those transparent plastic bags that used to get given away for free in certain supermarkets in the UK. And the even more impressive thing is that they've tracked it using APRS. If you go to the link to the APRS website, you can see exactly where it went, or you can see part of where it went, because the downlink, I assume from the transmitter, would be on 144.39, which is the APRS frequency in the US and many other parts of the world. But in Europe and other places as well, perhaps it's on 144.800. So I'm guessing this thing probably floated over top of Europe at some stage if it's gone all the way around the world, but that doesn't show up on the APRS map because all the iGates, Digipeters, etc. that may have heard it were listening on the wrong quote-unquote frequency, which is a bit of a shame. If that was a worldwide frequency, 144.39, then we might have got a nice track on the APRS website showing literally a line going all the way around the world, whereas if you look on the website there's actually quite large swathes missing from the plot, but they do say that it's gone all the way around the world, so that's rather impressive, isn't it, Martin? Back to you.
It certainly is. And, while you were saying, I was just thinking maybe us amateurs, maybe if we got a spare receiver and ability to connect it to the internet, maybe it might just be worth receiving the US APRS frequency, because you don't have to transmit it. If you received it and pushed it back to their logging system, they would be seen and tracked throughout Europe as well. So that's another thing.
Yeah, indeed, because the only other thing that you're likely to hear on that frequency in Europe is microwave talkback. That used to be on 144.175 in the UK, but then FT8 happened very close by on the dial, so they shifted up the other end. And I've never done microwaves or needed to do talkback, but I'm pretty sure that these days in the UK and possibly France and other places as well, they use 144.39 for that. But realistically, how often are you ever going to receive microwave talkback on 2 meters in any given location? So yes, absolutely. If we know that there are balloons up there that might be coming over in Europe, then it may well be worth diverting your APRS receive away from the usual frequency and listening on 144.39.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So all in all, congratulations to the boys. That was a great thing, and it's still up there, I believe, so it's got further to go.